At any point, he can drop a sub 14 5K at any time at a moment's notice. Why? Because he's in a base phase for the majority of his training. And this is one of the greatest of all time, how he trains for the Olympics, okay? You can do the same and you won't get injured. If you do that, you will be fast and you will be fit across the board. What's up, Run Elite? It's Guys here. Today, I'm gonna share with you an amazing story that is gonna inspire you about what you can do in your training. I'm gonna share with you 3 keys that you can use in your base training, your foundational training that you do basically year round. 3 keys that you can use in order to unlock your ability to run these PRs when you're not even training for them. And finally, I'm gonna share with you elite runners who use these techniques to unlock and do the same thing. Let me tell you a quick story about Colleen. Colleen has been wanting to break 30 minutes in her 5K for a long time, maybe like 2 years or so. And she keeps like getting close and then something happens. All these like setbacks that, where are they coming from? She's like ready to break 30. And it just kind of never happens. So she went out to break 30 about 3 weeks ago and she ran a 30:04. This doesn't really feel good, right? Breaking 2 in the half marathon is really what she cares about. So she's training for that. Really. And we're doing a 5K on the lead up to it. And she just missed that goal. It was still a PR, but it was not the goal that she really wanted. So what did we do? We had 2 weeks. I wanted her to flip this around because I wanted her to feel good. So we had 2 weeks to give her a mini tune-up in order to psychologically go get that sub 30 and feel like she's a badass, like she's really on track here, because she really wanted that. It was a secondary goal, right? So here's what we did. Because she had such a base of fitness and was fit overall leading up for her half, but we didn't tune her up for a 5K. What we did is we did spend 2 weeks and tune her up for a 5K in just 2 flipping weeks. We only did 2 workouts. There were really specific workouts for her 5K pace to run under 30. And then she signed up for another 5K. She ran 29:04. Took a full minute off in 2 weeks. That's impressive. So the reason she was able to do that is because she had this foundation of training upon which there was not specific training stacked, right? So what we did is we focused some specific training for the 5K just artificially for 2 weeks, boom, on top of that pyramid. And she was able to chop a minute off because she had that foundation. Now we take it away now because the 5K doesn't matter anymore. She got that and we put that focus back on the half marathon. Okay, so wherever you are in your triphasic model, maybe you're leading up to a peak race, maybe you're not, maybe you're far away from a peak race. What should you be doing in order to be able to do what Colleen did, right? Have a base of fitness that you can stack a really short specific phase on and skyrocket your performance in any race distance that you want. What do? You need to have a very thorough base training phase. This is the key to everything, okay? I've heard Dathan Ritzenhein's coach. He's had a lot of coaches. I believe at the time it was maybe Brad Hudson at University of Colorado in Boulder. It might've been him. He said, Ritzenhein walks around in 14-minute shape for a 5K. So he just got to get, he walks around. He doesn't have to train. He doesn't have to do much to run a sub 14 5K. And this guy, he could run like 12:56. He was American record holder at some point. But the point is he walks around in 14-minute shape for a 5K just through doing base training. At any point, he can drop a sub 14 5K at any time at a moment's notice. Why? Because he's in a base phase for the majority of his training. And then you stack on, when the race is coming, then you stack on the smaller support training and the smaller specific training. These are not equal in weight. We think of triphasic model. Let's spend a third of our time here, a third of our time here, a third of our time here. No, that's only if you are tight on time. You want to spend a giant piece of time on base training and then tune up with support and specific, boom. And the way you do that is you increase your frequency. Number one, you increase your mileage gradually, but slow. Okay. This is the key. You'll get hurt if you increase mileage and you don't back it off, because an increase in training load is what leads to an injury, not an absolute level of training load. So you can increase the amount you're running. And if you slow down the pace, the training load actually kind of stays the same. You're getting additional benefits. You're getting aerobic benefits, but the wear and tear on your tendons and ligaments and muscles and bones is much less. So this is key. Increase your frequency, increase your mileage, but do it slowly. And this is where a lot of runners mess up. They run them too hard. They run moderately hard most of the time and therefore get injured. So do it slowly. And then here's the other part. That's half of the key. The other half is you have to touch on speed regularly. I just said run slow. Yes, run slow on the given run, but touch on the speed. And that's where strides and hill sprints come in. If you like this video, awesome. Give it a thumbs up, but check out this training here. I'm gonna share with you how you can run a PR when you don't even see it coming and you're getting fit and you don't even know it. And then boom, you go out for a little tune-up race and you run a PR. Check it out right here. And this is exactly Ritzenhein, for example. This is exactly how he trained, right? Lots of mileage, pretty easy. Well, actually it's a lot, but it's a relatively small amount of mileage. Lots of strides, lots of hill sprints, all out. They only account for maybe 5 or 10% of the mileage for the week. But if you're running 120 miles a week, it's 12 miles worth of strides and hill sprints is a heck of a lot. But you're really fast. This is what Kenenisa Bekele did too. Remember, I've talked with you about his lead up to the Olympics. 30 100-meter strides every single day at 4-minute mile pace, plus 130 miles or so of easy, very easy running. And this is one of the greatest of all time, how he trains for the Olympics. Okay. You can do the same and you won't get injured. If you do that, you will be fast and you will be fit across the board. You'll be fit to run a 5K through a half marathon. If your mileage gets high enough, you'll be fit for the marathon. Peak shape? No, that's where we stack on support and specific, but you'll be fit across the board. And the final thing to say to you here is, remember what I said about Colleen, right? If a race comes up that you want to do, that you hadn't really trained for, and it's not even your peak race, then when you have that foundation and you haven't worn yourself out by doing all these hard intervals and hard tempo runs, just like regularly, if you just have a big base, now you can cash it in for even just 2 weeks in Colleen's case of specific training, and you can get a huge benefit. And then you can kind of go back to what you were doing and you can give yourself these artificial little peaks. Okay. It's like magic.